Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, where we provide you with your weekly diagnosis of everything fantasy football. Whether it's season-long leagues, dynasty, DFS, or sometimes even IDP, we got you covered all year long. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, John June, and my guy, Greg Penniman, is back. Greg, how are you doing, man?
Feeling very fresh, very, very excited. Hopefully I got a little tan on and everything. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Happy to be ready for this football season. We're like about 10, 11 days. Next Thursday it's going to start. After this Labor Day weekend, we get ready. We got Bucks Dallas. So yeah, it's gonna be very, very entertaining. Very good game. Very good start to the season.
Yeah, and you would see Greg's newly fresh tan if you're watching us on YouTube. But if you're listening on podcast, we appreciate that as well. Just make sure you're subscribed. However you are listening or watching or consuming this show. Very much appreciated. And also, as Greg said, we are about a week away from football. And this weekend is Labor Day weekend. So we will actually not have a show this weekend. The next time you hear our voices, though, we will be talking about a football game. We will be breaking it down, talking about the game, giving our picks on the spread, the total, all of it, as we always do on this show. And then we'll be right back into our regular season schedule, 4 shows a week. So make sure you are with us. Definitely don't want to miss it, whether we're doing the like I said, Thursday night breakdowns or the part 1 and part 2 previews where we break down all 16 games, spread, totals, all of it, give down our streams of the week as well as our starts of the week. And then we also have a waiver wire show on Monday and our reaction to the week that was. So definitely do not want to miss these shows or miss these these episodes that we'll be putting out, and we'll be pumping them out every week for the next 18 weeks. Yes, I did not misspeak 18 weeks because we are committed to the cause. So
facts. Those people are going to have those week 18 championships now. Yeah, not even week 17, week 18. Tough.
Yeah. So, get your commissioner to change it now if you still have time. But if you do end up having to play in a week 18 championship, we will be here with you. But also, even if you're not playing, just stay with us because, like we said, you're going to want to be paying attention to some of the stuff that's happening. And you don't want to miss, like Jonathan Taylor running for 253 yards in a Week 17 championship. So, Greg, are you ready to get into some news, man?
That's a fact. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm doing. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. It's some sad news, some somber news. First, JK Dobbins, the talented second-year running back with the Baltimore Ravens, injured his knee on, I think it was Saturday night against in a preseason game, and ends up tearing his ACL. He's out for the year. Was placed on IR, but this basically means that Gus Edwards is going to assume the RB1 role here for the Baltimore Ravens. I have him slated in my top 24. He's in that RB20 range for me with after the injury. What say you, Greg?
Yeah, definitely first hate to see it for JK, especially in the preseason game. Man, it makes me more the reasons about having those drafts right near the start of the season, so you can be ready for that. But yeah, it's tough to see it. Gus the Bus, he's in there. He was already had some standalone value because he was on, the Ravens for the most rush heavy team in the league. But now that he's, definitely gonna have the RB1 role, that definitely takes a bump up for him. Huge bump up for him. Yeah, definitely have automatic RB2, I think, with some RB1 upsides in week, especially when the Ravens are heavy run, probably for the start of the season when all these receivers are going to be banged up. I see no reason why they don't lean on the run even more in these first couple weeks. So, yeah, I like Gus Edwards a lot in his prospects. Yeah, the receiving won't be there. So the PPR numbers probably will still not be there. I still think, they'll use other people for that. But yeah, he's going to be a bump up. He's definitely a guy you want to take middle of the rounds if you can get him. Take him.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some people say that, you should draft Gus Edwards basically where you were drafting JK Dobbins, and that totally makes sense there. I mean, I had JK Dobbins in that top 18 range as well, so it's a difference of like 4 spots there. So that's really marginal in terms of what you're getting. You were getting JK Dobbins and hoping for this receiving upside, that maybe it potentially would come. With Gus Edwards, you're just taking him, and that it's probably not going to be there. Although, he didn't have much targets last year. I think he only had 13. Was able to catch 9 of them. Actually went back and watched all 13 of those targets. Gus Edwards can catch the ball. I mean, I just want to put that out there. I don't know if it's going to be, it might be a common misconception that he can't play in the pass game, because I know going into it, I thought that Gus Edwards couldn't play in the pass game. I was like, let me watch him. And this guy can, make catches, full extension. They had him running some routes deep down the field last year, like wheel routes and things like that. So, I think that that will be an under, I guess that would be part of his game that's probably undersold. And that's probably, as fantasy managers, we're probably maybe getting a discount there with Gus Edwards because he might have that reputation. But, he's definitely at worst going to lead this team in rush attempts, going to lead this team in rushing touchdowns as well. There's going to be, I've got the Ravens projected for 21 rushing touchdowns. If he gets 50% of those, that's 10 rushing touchdowns. We saw Mark Ingram, have a high touchdown number a few years ago. That was also the part of the upside that you were getting here with J.K. Dobbins potentially. I think there's a ceiling here that's probably unaccounted for with Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that in all regards for that. I took him in a league last night. He's definitely. I'm happy if he's my RB2 for sure. If my RB1, I'm a little worried because of the PPR upside, but I think if you can get him as your RB2, you got to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to some other news. So Cam Newton was released today from the New England Patriots, did not make the final 53. That was a bit of a surprising cut. Obviously was dealing with, he had to stay away from the team due to some miscommunication in the testing protocols. And so essentially that seemed to give way to Mac Jones, the rookie quarterback, the 15th overall pick in the NFL draft, to, Wally Pitt Cam Newton here and take the starting job here for the New England Patriots. So, Greg, what does this do in your mind for the Patriots? What does it mean? What can we expect for Mac Jones this year? And what does it mean for maybe some of these weapons on these fantasy options on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely congrats to Mac Jones, getting his starting job. Cam Newton, definitely a surprising move, but not as surprising what team it came from. Like the Pats, they do this. Like they don't care what name is on your back, what number you wear, what clout you have. If they will cut you, they will cut you. So Mac Jones, he gets his chance. I mean, the roster around him isn't changing. I mean, they traded Sony Michel. I think the weapons receiver wise are average core at best. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna get too much better as far as the weapons, but for him, I think he kind of elevates the passing game a little bit. They will probably put more effort into passing the ball down the field. They weren't a team that really stretched the field last year at all. And their biggest plays were Cam Newton rushing plays. So it was definitely going to be a change of offense this year. Mac Jones should help that out, the aerial attack a little more. And I think they're able to rely on guys like Damian Harris a little more in the backfield. So that's good prospects for him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it actually, I think you don't realize how much Cam Newton suffocates. Not even. I mean, Cam Newton was great in fantasy, but he was always a great player.
Yeah, he demands a certain type of offense, though.
Yeah, like you have to run. You don't run the same offense with Cam Newton that you do with Mac Jones or Tom Brady or any of these guys. So this was an offense that was running the ball, 50% of the time, sometimes even more than that. And so this becomes Josh McDaniels gets back to doing what he had done, with Tom Brady and with previous quarterbacks, which is throw the ball 55, 60% of the time and have success doing it in the short game, making use of yards after the catch. And Cam Newton wasn't that type of player, especially not at this point in his career. And so I think that the volume of pass attempts potentially goes up here for the New England Patriots. I think that the running backs can now, exist.
Rushing touchdowns, yes. Rushing
touchdowns because those are going to be there for the New England Patriots, like Damian Harris. I also think Ramondre Stevenson has a role. I think James White is usable again in fantasy because now you have a traditional offense where the wide receiver James White's going to be used as that out of the backfield option in the pass game, like we've seen him for years with Tom Brady. And that wasn't there last year with Cam Newton. And we kind of knew that with the offense that they were implementing. And then the tight ends, how they're going to be utilized with this young quarterback. So I think that, again, it just kind of raises the floor for all of these New England Patriots players where you were getting them at a significant discount. I mean, some of these players, Jacoby Myers, I think, is going to, he's going to take even a leap from what we saw potentially last year. Nelson Aguilar is going to, like you said, make more plays down the field as they emphasize the deep passing game. I think there's a lot to be had here with this New England Patriots offense.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. I'm very hyped for the amount of rushing touchdowns is going to shift to hopefully Damian Harris and guys like that on the running back core, and James White. Yeah, in third down situation, short situations, it was a Cam Newton run. Cam Newton quarterback sneaks, like they can throw the ball to James White, get him more receptions, get him more to that stable, 12 point per guy that we saw all those years.
Yeah, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing how this New England offense operates. Let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, and this may be a low key, this may be a low key kind of release here, but John Brown was released from the Las Vegas Raiders. That may not seem like a big deal, but two guys that I know, one guy I've been talking about a while, and Greg, I know you made the transaction in our league of extraordinary people. So you must be feeling a type of way about another guy, but obviously I'm alluding to the wide receivers, the second-year wide receivers out in Vegas, Henry Ruggs and Bryan Edwards. And so these guys seem to have locked up the starting job on the outside for the Raiders. Henry Ruggs, as I've been saying, fits this mold that we saw in Nelson Aguilar fit perfectly last year, and could potentially see if he could see 100 targets. I think 1,000-yard season is definitely in the range of outcomes. And then Bryan Edwards gets talked about as this amazing prospect. T.O. I mean, I've heard T.O. come out. I've heard Brandon Marshall. Like, I've heard some ridiculous.
He's
names.
A training camp legend, man, right now.
Training camp legend, Bryan Edwards. But they've trusted him enough to get the job done this year. He's going to fit that possession role there for the Vegas Raiders. I mean, he is competing with Darren Waller, I believe, for targets, but still, I think there's enough upside there in an offense that will be throwing the ball a decent amount in some of their games. So I think both of these guys are worth the shot. What say you, Greg?
Oh yeah, definitely. Henry Ruggs, I think, has some, high-end wide receiver 2 value, especially as, with the upside he had last year. I know I was pretty high on him, but taking that second-year leap, I think he can definitely get you a top 24 finish. And Bryan Edwards is going to give you some good flex weeks with that bump. Immediately, dropped John Brown and got Bryan Edwards yesterday over the weekend when I heard that news. So definitely going to be good for both of them. Darren Waller is Darren Waller. He's nothing real move is going to impact him. It's more good for the both receivers, Ruggs and Edwards. Definitely agree.
Yeah, definitely there. And then obviously, there's Carson Wentz. He ends up on the COVID list, has a high risk close contact. So the expectation is that he'll be back by week 1. There was a few guys like Michael Thomas that ends up on the PUP list, so he won't be eligible to come back until at least week 6. So, or at the earliest week 6. So, there's that. But we got to jump into our season-long picks, our predictions here, our Super Bowl predictions. And Greg, obviously we're prognosticating here. We also will be prognosticating during the season in terms of what players could do in potential fantasy matchups, and what players will do in games, and what their yardage totals, how many touchdowns they might score, and a certain amount of props that they might be, what props that they might hit. So, are you playing any props this year, Greg?
I know I'm already going to be playing props, and the best way to do it, I think, is through Thrive Fantasy. Speaking of Thrive Fantasy, prop up on Thrive Fantasy this football season. Again, Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports and esports app for player props. So go get our find about this year. I'm definitely looking forward to that. With Thrive, you can eliminate the countless hours of research and focus on only the top tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Choose 10 out of 20 available player props to build your lineup. Each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and the under based on how likely it is to hit. All you gotta do is hit the most props and rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool. And talk about money in the prize pool. You think maybe you came in a lot of money, maybe the prize pool too big. Nah, Thrive has given over 140,000 guaranteed prizes in NFL Week 1 and has awarded over $4 million. Thrive featured 100,000 guaranteed contests. It's just $20 to enter, and first place takes home $20K. So it's definitely money to be brought home. All you gotta do is use that promo code FFDX when you sign up today, and you will receive a 100% instant first deposit match up to $100. That's free money. I mean, all you gotta do is use the code FFDX. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and let's go. Let's prop up today.
Hey, you heard it there. Let's get into these divisional picks, and we're gonna start with a division that is close to you, Greg, the NFC East.
Dag, why we got? Oh man, that's
last year. The Washington football team came in first, 7-9. Then it was the New York Giants at 6-10, the Dallas Cowboys 6-10, and then the Philadelphia Eagles 4-11-1. Greg, who is winning the NFC East?
This is definitely the hardest division to call, probably every year, because all these teams usually underachieve, or either one team just randomly overachieves and no one really can predict it. I guess that saying definitely save the best for last. We started by saving the worst for first, it's tough. I mean, I really want to go Washington again, but they have the tough schedule this year because they were the division winners last year. So I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys this year. Dallas Cowboys, I think, gets it done in the division. Having Dak back, I think having the most balanced offense out of the 4 teams. I think Washington definitely has the best defense still out of these 4 teams, and that will keep them in the games. I think it'll be close between Dallas and Washington, but I'm gonna take Dallas to take over. Hope I think they improved on defense with their draft picks. So yeah, Dak is gonna bring them home.
Yeah, man, I'm totally with you here. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win this division and win the NFC East here. Yeah, I mean, like you said, that they've got the best balance in terms of a pass game and a run game. They can take a lead and then they can hold on to that lead. And now they might actually have a formidable defense here, like you referenced with some of their draft picks. I mean, if you've been watching Hard Knocks, Micah Parsons, I mean, that I mean, I know I had said it earlier, like before the draft. I said, if you want to find a football, just watch Micah Parsons because he'll find it for you. And just seeing how Dallas is using him, not just as an off the ball linebacker or a 3-4 defensive end, they are going into There's packages where he's a 4-3 outside linebacker. There's packages where he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. So I'm totally with you, man. If this defense can take it to another level here, then I think that Dallas is far and away the best team in this division. Let's go to a division that is close to my home. So the AFC East.
Oh, okay.
And last year, I definitely picked the New England Patriots to win the division. That did not happen. The Buffalo Bills won this division. The 13-3. The Miami Dolphins came in second, 10-6. The New England Patriots came in third at 7-9, and then my beloved New York Jets, who love to hate me, came in at 2-14. And so I sit here and I ask, who's going to win the division in 2021? And I don't think it's much of a question. This division goes through the North. It goes through Buffalo. And until one of these teams can take them down, I know everyone's talking about Tua and Miami, but I know Mac Jones. It's Mac Jones' day today, and he's the greatest quarterback ever. And New England's going to suddenly win 6 Super Bowls again. But until anybody in this division takes that man down, takes that crown from him, it goes through Buffalo and Josh Allen. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I'm going with Buffalo again. They pretty much brought everyone back and added pieces. Gabriel Davis is going to also take that leap. Just offensively, they're going to be a machine again. Defensively, they're going to be there. Their guys are going to be healthy. I don't see any Mac Jones helps Patriots be better. Miami's going to be formidable defensively, but no one has that juice like the Buffalo Bills has right now in that division. So yeah, they get it done again.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, we'll get into it later. We'll just say that. But talking about the next division here, let's go with the NFC North, Greg.
Okay.
And so the Green Bay Packers last year won this division at 13-3. The Chicago Bears come in second, 8-8. The Minnesota Vikings came in third, 7-9, and then the Detroit Lions came in at 5-11. How is this division breaking down in your eyes, Greg?
Oh man, this is Aaron Rodgers' last season as a Packer. You think he's not gonna go out as a division champion? Like this is Aaron. This is what he's gonna do, man. He's gonna come out here, Green Bay all the way. Again, they are bringing back a lot of guys. They're bringing back guys from the old squads. Randall Cobb. They probably want to bring back Jordan Nelson if they could, but I think the Green Bay Packers are gonna be fine, just fine. I mean, they still got the best home field at Green Bay as far as advantage. Don't see a lot of other teams improving. I mean, Chicago's gonna get better once they get Fields, but the upside is still capped. Andy Dalton's the starter right now. I think they're not gonna win enough games.
Greg, you went out. Can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right, I hear you now.
Oh, word. Yeah, I'm just going with Green Bay all the way. I mean, that's really them cutting me off to say Green Bay, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I agree with you as well on this one, man. Green Bay is, each of the last 2 years, right? I mean, the year before I think they won 13 games, and last year they won 13 games, and people thought it was a fluke the year before, but this is Matt LaFleur. He's his third year now with this team, with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers potentially playing his last year in Green Bay. I know you say it definitively, but I still have, nothing is definitive these days in this league.
That's true.
So I'm just going to say, he's auditioning. Let's put it that way. He wants the bag. He saw Tom Brady go out and get what he wants, and so maybe he's exercising some of that leverage here. But I am picking the Green Bay Packers to win this division. I don't think there's really another team in this division that can contend with them for the title. Maybe that was a pipe dream when Aaron Rodgers was potentially not coming back or potentially going to be playing in Denver, but not in this case. Let's move on to the AFC North and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who started out 11-0, finished 12-4 to win the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens, who came in second at 11-5. The Cleveland Browns came in at third at 11-5. Also made it to a playoff at 11-5, winning a wild card spot. And then the Cincinnati Bengals came in fourth for 11-1. For me here, I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm going to the Baltimore Ravens again. Lamar Jackson, he's a former league MVP. I think he's only getting better as he ages in this league. And I think the Baltimore Ravens are somewhat telling the truth about wanting to pass the ball more, which, I think will lead them to having, be scoring some more points and potentially being a bit more aggressive there on that side of the ball. So I'm picking the Ravens to win this division. What say you, Greg?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm also going with Baltimore to win the division. I think, Pittsburgh maybe they got better as far as their identity, as what they want to run the ball. But I think Baltimore is just going to be able to sustain success this year and get it done. This is arguably the toughest division in football right now. Probably like the most run-heavy division, definitely in football. So it's going to be a lot of tough games between these teams. But yeah, I think Baltimore gets better especially when they get healthy towards, get those receivers back, Bateman, Hollywood, and they already have Mark Andrews. Sammy Watkins is going to help them out a lot. So yeah, they're going to be ready to go.
And I think you mean Marquise Brown, because he has to earn.
Oh, right. Sorry. Marquise Brown. Sammy Watkins, Week 1 legend, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, legend. Absolutely. Sammy Watkins, Week 1. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Let's move on to the NFC South. And last year we had the New Orleans Saints come in at 12-4, winning the NFC South. But then we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were the Super Bowl champions, come in at 11-5. The Carolina Panthers came in at 5-11, and then the Atlanta Falcons came in last at 4-12. Greg, what say you when it comes to the NFC South?
Oh man, it just the more games Tampa Bay plays, they just keep getting better. All they needed was just time, and now they just had more time to get better and fine tune that offense, fine tune the timing. AB with them more games. I see no reason why. Yeah, Tampa Bay is going to take this division. They're the best team, arguably one of the best teams in football. The defending champions. They have everyone back pretty much. Their defense, young last year, only going to get better this year with their DBs and their line. Yeah, I see. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Bucks is just more time just to fine tune them. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, definitely Tampa Bay Buccaneers is where I'm going as well. I mean, this seems like like the easy pick to make, defending Super Bowl champions, but Tom Brady has showed no signs of slowing down. This team, like you said, is only they kept all 22 starters from their Super Bowl team, which is almost unheard of this day and age. But then they also added talent on top of that through the draft and also through free agency. So, this team again is just, going to continue to make this run here for Super Bowls. And I think again, the Bucks, the Saints, they're going to play well. We'll see what the Panthers do. And, Atlanta's not going to be a slouch this year either. So, but this division goes through Tampa. Let's move on to the AFC South. And last year, the Tennessee Titans came in at 11-5, winning the division. I don't know why you're doing all that. You picked Houston to win the division last year, but I'm going with obviously Indianapolis. I went with them last year. They went 11-5. They did not win the division. They did win a wild card, make it to the playoffs. Then Houston came in at 4-12, and then Jacksonville came in last, 1-15, worst record in the league. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts again to win this division. I mean, Carson Wentz, if he can stay healthy, I think he provides a little bit more than what Phillip Rivers gave them last year, especially in the deep passing game and getting the ball down the field and being able to move the pocket because Phillip Rivers couldn't move, and he wouldn't QB sneak, but Jonathan Taylor, I think, also can ascend into one of the better running backs in the NFL, one of the best running backs in the NFL. And then Michael Pittman, I think, also can ascend as well. And so I think the Colts, take that leap. But then also, we also forget how good the Colts were on defense last year. I think that continues as well. Greg, where are you at with the AFC South?
Yeah, this is a good division for sure between those two teams. I'm gonna lean towards Tennessee, just because down the stretch, I think they'll get it done, especially leaning on Derrick Henry more in those divisional games. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough between those two, but yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Tennessee. I mean, your guy's Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. That means he's gonna have to have success on the football field as well, like football wise. So he's got to bring Tennessee home.
Yeah, no, I went back. I went back and forth about this one, with Tennessee being, Ryan Tannehill being my guy and literally my guy at the quarterback position, and then, obviously Julio Jones coming in, AJ Brown, and what that does for Derrick Henry. But Tennessee's defense,
Yeah,
man,
they couldn't stop anyone last year. I mean, I know that. That's a fact.
So, yeah, it's hard for me to pick them to win the division and win consistently. But things happen. You never know. It's a anything can happen in the NFL any given Sunday. But let's move on to the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks, 12-4, won the NFC West last year. The Rams came in at 10-6. They ended up winning a wild card spot. The Arizona Cardinals come in at 8-8, and then the San Francisco 49ers came in last, injury-ridden, to 6-10. Greg, where are you at with the NFC West? Who's taking it down this year?
Yeah, I think the AFC North is probably the deepest, best division in football, but like the most intriguing, there's a lot of storylines and stuff the AFC West. I mean AFC North, but the NFC West is like so intriguing to me. Just so many storylines, so many players. Russell Wilson, the Mercer, Trey Lance, hopefully. But I'm gonna go with San Francisco 49ers. I think they come back. They revitalize themselves, stay healthy, and get it done this year. They had a lot of key injuries last year, and I think with those injuries on the other side, they stay healthy. They'll get it done on both sides of the ball. Jimmy G, who'll start off the season most likely. I mean, Trey Lance will be in there in a lot of formats, and I think it'll be one of those situations. No matter how well or bad the San Francisco 49ers start, Trey Lance is coming. His time will be there, and it will be kind of not not like that. He'll be Colin Kaepernick, but that run that Kaepernick made with the 49ers when he got there, I think that's kind of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like tilting over here over the NFC West because the Rams obviously are intriguing. If Cam Akers is on this roster, I don't think I even have to think about this. But his loss, really limits what they could have done in the what kind of team this could have been in the run game. And then with Seattle, it's like I can't bet on them to win the division because of Pete Carroll. Like Russell Wilson will be why they end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Pete Carroll will be the reason why they don't win the division when you compare him to Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan and the thinkers that these guys are. And Pete Carroll just doesn't think about much other than smacking on his chewing gum and clapping his hands. Don't know why. I just decided to take this opportunity to go in on Pete Carroll.
Even Cliff Kingsbury is a good offensive mind, a good coach mind thing. Yeah.
Nah, man. Cliff is on my list too, man. This would be a good opportunity to say, like, one of the bets I've been making is Cliff to first coach to be fired. Not actually making that bet, but I'm just like, if I could make that bet, I would make the bet. Cliff Kingsbury is the first coach.
Yo, Thrive needs to make another player prop. Coaches
Can we just bet on coaches?
Yeah.
Will Cliff Kingsbury be fired after this game? Nah, but so yeah, I have Arizona coming in last in this division, actually. So I haven't said my winner yet, have I?
Yes.
I'm just gonna go with my guy, man, Kyle. I'm just gonna ride out with Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an easy choice to make, But that means that you and I, Greg, agreed on everything today, pretty much. So, because I know we pretty much agree on this.
Except the AFC South. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so we're going to the AFC West.
Oh yeah,
Kansas City Chiefs. They came in 14-2 last year. Made it to the Super Bowl. Lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But obviously, they had a great regular season, 14-2. Then you had the Las Vegas Raiders, came in second at 8-8. Then you had the Los Angeles Chargers, who, despite everything that Anthony Lynn tried to do, came in at 7-9. And then you had the Denver Broncos, who came in at 5-11. So I'm obviously going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs, although I really
want to choose the Chargers. You want to choose the Chargers.
I want to so
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
just highlighting Brandon Staley. What he's going to do with that defense, and if the Chargers have the pieces in place to have the number one pass defense in the league.
I need to see Derwin James stay on the field. That's what I need, bro.
He's healthy for the start of the season for like 2 years. So he's healthy. You've got Joey Bosa. You've if he can replicate what he did, Chris Harris is in that secondary as well. If he can replicate what he did with the Rams last year, with the Chargers, they could give the Chiefs some trouble twice a year.
I think so. I think they'll win over 10 games as well. So they're going to be there. Yeah, they're going to be right there with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are not going to run away with the division for sure. I think it'll be maybe a 2-game or 1-game win in that division because the Chargers are going to be there. It's tough every year. Herbert's going to be like coming in second in his division, yo.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, Herbert with that defense. I'm just saying, because we saw Herbert go toe to toe with Anthony Lynn, literally trying to lose to keep
first
him. First game. Oh, hey, by the way, you're starting. Oh, okay. All right. Wait, who am I playing? Oh, the Super Bowl defending champions and Patrick Mahomes. Okay, cool. No problem. Scores 3 touchdowns. Like it was nothing. So again, I'm just saying, if the Chargers are who I think the Chargers are in terms of this coaching staff and what they're going to do with Justin Herbert and this defense, I'm not saying they'll win the division. I'm just saying they're going to give the Chiefs a run for their money.
That'd be a good bet to make to give put a bet on the Chargers. You definitely be some nice money.
No, I did put a bet on the Chargers.
Yeah, that's a good one to do.
It was like plus 2,100.
Oh yeah, take that.
Yeah, so that was a while ago. But anyway, let's jump into Super Bowl picks, right? And before we do that, let's talk about these teams that we have making the wild card, right? So we picked our division winners. Who do we think gets these wild card spots? Let's start with the NFC. Greg, who are your 3 wild card teams?
So NFC wise, it's definitely that's tough. I'm gonna definitely go. I think Washington gets a spot. I think that New Orleans gets a spot, and I think Seattle gets a spot.
Okay. Yeah, I've got Seattle. I've got New Orleans. But I also have the Rams in there. So I don't have Washington. I got the Rams getting that last spot. So I have 3 NFC West teams. So I know you had said earlier, I think the NFC West has a loaded division. So I've got 3 of them making it. It's crazy because you could actually have with the seventh playoff spot, you could actually have now an entire division make it. So that'd be cool to see one day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, one day.
All right.
Hey man, if the AFC North steps up, they could do something.
AFC North could be the one to do it.
Yeah.
They definitely could be the one to do it. All right, let's move on to the AFC. And so my 3 wildcard teams here are going to be the Cleveland Browns, which I think they're here to stay. I called them out to be a playoff team last year. I think that they are here to stay as a playoff team. The LA Chargers, who obviously, if you haven't guessed, I'm definitely picking them. And then this last one's tough because there's 3 teams here that I could see making this last spot, right? Because it's either got to be the Titans, the Steelers, or the Patriots. And then you got the Dolphins, who are also in this conversation. For me, I'm going to go with the Titans here. I think, again, like we talked about before, between the quarterback, the wide receivers, the running back, and Derrick Henry, that they will have all the opportunities to have success on the offensive side of the ball. Just probably have some struggles defensively, which I don't think will be much of a problem for them until they get to the postseason. Greg, what about you when it comes to the AFC wildcard teams?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, basically, we have the disagreement in the AFC South, so I'm just taking the Indianapolis Colts as that 3rd wildcard team, along with the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are just keep getting better and better too with time, because they just have the formula for success in the playoffs. So watch out for them for sure. Taking the Cleveland Browns, the
Chargers,
yeah, the Herb time. You see that man on the wall? You gotta take Herbert.
Yeah, he's not on the main wall today, the Wall of Fame, which I guess we'll call it. But right now that goes to Justin Jefferson. I don't know. I just felt like Justin Jefferson today. But we'll have some fun with it during the season. But Super Bowl picks. And so coming out of the AFC here, I'll go first, man. And this kind of hurts me to do it, but I'm going to put the Bills in the Super Bowl, man. I'm going to have the Bills taking down the Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Woo! Woo! Yo, Patty's not even in the championship game. That's crazy.
Buffalo Bills taking down the LA Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, what about you?
Oh man, I did it last year. I'm doing it again. This is a dynasty in the making. Like, I'm forcing it. Kansas City is going back to the Super Bowl once again. I believe that Chargers are gonna get there too in the AFC Championship. I think they beat the Chargers for that and get to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So we both have the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. That is dope.
Yeah.
All right, I like
facts.
that. That's dope. Okay, so who's in your NFC Championship game, Greg, and who comes out victorious?
I'm going, I believe it was a rematch of last year, Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. And this time I'm taking Aaron Rodgers getting it done this year, man. Green Bay is getting to the Super Bowl. I believe, because I'm the last season, Rodgers with Green Bay, just the storylines match up and everything. I think Green Bay gets it done, and it's gonna be Kansas City versus Green Bay, that State Farm Bowl.
Hey man, this is crazy because I guess me and you have the same NFC Championship game. Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
And we have the same result because I've got
Yes.
the Green Bay Packers winning the
Yes.
NFC Championship game,
Yes.
going on to the Super Bowl. But I have them facing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So, Greg, I need to know who's winning the Super Bowl.
The redemption story. Kansas City gets it done, man. Kansas City gets 2 out of 3. Pat Mahomes gets the second ring. I thought they were going to win last year. They almost got there. They got to the Super Bowl last year. I was half right. But yeah, the Kansas City gets the championship this year. They have a better offensive line. I think that's where it'll just all come together. The reasons why they lost last year are going to be the reasons why they win this year. They have the protection now for Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, I forget exactly the years, but the Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They lost all 4 of them
in a
row.
Crazy.
And last year they make it to the AFC Championship game. Was it the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. Yep, because Josh Allen stayed out there, wanted to see the confetti, all that stuff, see what it was like to win the AFC Championship game. And I think they'll have their hearts broken again.
Yo, that's gonna be so brutal for Bills Mafia, man.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry.
I mean, it'll make them.
I'm really not
happy that they have Josh Allen. I mean, he's gonna have another 10, 12 years in the league. So,
well, bro, 2 things. First, I've been saying, and I said it last year. I've said it to you multiple times. Like, if there's a team I think in the AFC that can take it to the Chiefs, it's the Bills. Like, there's no other quarterback. I think in the AFC, Justin Herbert, maybe we'll see there one day. Deshaun, obviously, we'll see where he ends up. But right now, if I had to go play Patrick Mahomes and I could pick any quarterback in the AFC, give me Josh Allen.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Right? Just give me Josh Allen. I mean, secondly, did you see that man the other day?
I did not. No, I did not.
Oh my goodness, Josh Allen in a granted, I get it, preseason game.
Yeah, preseason.
Packers, whatever. But I'm watching Josh Allen, and that he looked better than last year. I'm like, yo, this first 10 passes, ball didn't hit the ground, and he's just out there, 3 steps, boom, out there. Boom, just boom, just throwing rockets. And I'm like, yo. And then he throws a touchdown. It's like a 27-yard or 30-yard touchdown pass. Just a absolute laser. Like where most quarterbacks would probably loft it in there. Josh Allen was just like, no. And it was just like, bro, then by the way, like this dude can run for 500-600 yards.
Yep.
And so, yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I didn't like Josh Allen, the prospect. I definitely don't like the Buffalo Bills as a Jets fan, but I'm being a realist here. I'm prognosticating fantasy football. I have a duty to the people to report what I see, and my eyes tell me Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. No questions asked.
You're not even talking about the fact that Green Bay won the Super Bowl. Didn't you choose him to win?
Nah, because Aaron Rodgers is the man. And so
there you go. Yeah.
I mean, look, I guess I spent all this time talking about the Bills. I didn't even talk about.
That's what I'm saying. Word. That's what I'm saying. You picked the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
But you just look at the Packers, like the last 3 years. I mean, this is the 3rd year of the program, right? And every year they've gotten a little bit farther along the way, right? And so I think that this is the year that they actually get to that final goal with Aaron Rodgers. He's got Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's apparently taken a huge step forward. I want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it.
I want to hear it.
I know you don't want to hear it, but all the reports are the dude is having the best camp in a contract year. So
Okay. Contract year.
I knew
That's
I'd
always a
get
good
you over
plus.
there.
Yeah,
I knew I'd get you there
follow
with
the
that.
money. Follow the money.
Yeah. But and then this defense, they've got a new defensive coordinator in there. Believe coming from, I think he was in Washington previously. I forget his name, but either way, I think they're going to take a step forward on that side of the ball as well, and that's why they will beat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with that matchup, I think Green Bay would definitely win that one. I was very close picking Green Bay to win. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they take that chip. Yeah, it'd be just a perfect like sunset for maybe Devontae and Aaron Rodgers. Just a perfect like way to go out, man. It'd be beautiful.
I mean, imagine like Aaron Rodgers just like going to any team after he won a Super Bowl, just kind of like, so what are you guys gonna give me?
We starting at 50. That's what we starting at. Like we starting at
Yeah. Like what?
50 or
60?
50 or nothing. Yo. Oh man.
Part ownership in the
Our ownership, true.
Yeah, man. So, I pick. So apparently we're both really high on the Packers. Obviously, we're both high on the Chiefs, high on the Bills, high on the Chargers, which not surprising if you listened to this podcast last year, you would know that we're both really high on the Chargers. But Greg, the next time we will be on this show, we will be just breaking down the Dallas Cowboys at the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll be prognosticating on what Tom Brady will do, what Dak Prescott might do, how they might finish in overall on the week. CeeDee Lamb, Michael. Do you play Michael Gallup? Is Giovanni Bernard going to be a thing? Find out on the next episode of Fantasy Football Diagnostic. But make sure you check us out the episode will drop on Thursday. If you watch on YouTube, if you watch on YouTube, if the video's out, it could potentially be out on Wednesday, but turn those notifications on so you can find out. But it'll definitely be out on podcast platform Thursday at midnight. And we appreciate the love. Be safe this weekend, Labor Day weekend. Spend time with family, loved ones. Just continue to be safe. COVID is not over, and we'll see y'all next week, and we'll be having our regular season schedule, and have at it, y'all. So have a good one, and we are out of here. Peace.
We out.